I wanted to tell a personal story today, one of my stories. I call it my gap story. I was raised in a very conservative church, in a very conservative family. I was not a rebellious kid. I was mischievous, as you might guess, but I was not rebellious. My senior year in high school, I was preaching in a small mission church outside my town. And so as I went away to college, many of my friends who were from the same background that I was found that a good time to go wild because their parents were no longer around. But I didn't do that. I stayed true to the standards of my church, my family. Got married, went to seminary, took my first church, stayed true during all that time. Was a police officer for a few years. I was a good cop. Stayed true during all that time, pastored some more, became a hospital chaplain. But all during this time, as I lived my life the way I thought God wanted me to live it, there was always this gap in my life. This is the life I lived, and this is the life I thought I could live, the person I thought I could be if I did my best. And that gap was always filled with guilt, even though I was doing the best I knew how to do. And so that was into my 40s that there came a day when I felt like God spoke to me. I didn't hear a voice, but spiritually it was that real to me. And God said, Herb, I've got good news and I've got bad news. God calls me Herb. And he said, the bad news is this is your best. And I said, oh no, Lord, if I studied the scripture more, if I prayed more, if I quit procrastinating, this is the person I could be. And he said, have you ever done that? And I said, no. And he said, that's because this is your best. I was disappointed. He said, do you want to hear the good news? And I said, please. He said, this is the person I've made you to be. This is the person I love. And this is the person I use. That gap is filled with pride of who you think you can be and who you think you are. But truth be known, this is your best. Well, that was life-changing for me. That took my breath away. Because I quit striving to be this guy. I quit trying to be this guy. And I was able to embrace this guy. And there has not been a day since that happened that I have not had the freedom to be this guy and enjoy being who that is. So when you call me, when you need me, this is who will show up. Because it's the only guy I can bring. But I promise you, he's enough. And so are you. Thank you.